There's a question that has lingered in the hearts of men for centuries. A question that no one dares to ask aloud. But every man silently wonders, why are bad boys more attractive to women? It's a question that cuts deep into the heart of what it means to be desirable, to have influence, to draw others toward you without even trying. And it's a question that deserves an answer, not just for the curious minds, but for the men who seek to understand what makes them powerful in the eyes of those they desire. What is it about the so-called bad boys that makes them irresistible to the women who claim they'd never fall for such a man? Is it the danger, the unpredictability, the rawness of their emotions? Or is it something deeper, an understanding of power and control that makes them the center of attention? The one who commands the room without ever saying a word. You see, it's not about their actions, it's about their essence. The bad boy doesn't just show up and turn heads because of his looks, or because he's wearing the most expensive cologne. No, it's something deeper, something that flows through his veins like a current of power. It's the undeniable magnetism of confidence, danger, and control. But what is it that makes this dangerous allure so magnetic? It's Machiavelli, the strategist of power, who first understood that to capture attention, you must first control how you are perceived. The bad boy doesn't beg for validation, doesn't seek approval. He lives by his own rules, carving his own path in a world of mediocrity. He makes life a game, and the women around him, they're the prize. Not because he forces them, but because he understands one fundamental truth. Attraction is built on scarcity, on value, on being someone that others cannot easily possess. To understand the dynamics of attraction, we must first understand the psychology of power. Women are drawn to strength, not weakness. They are attracted to men who exude power, whether that power is physical, emotional, or intellectual. Bad boys carry an aura of unpredictability, a sense that they live outside of the rules, outside of the constraints that govern the average man. They don't conform, they don't apologize for who they are. And that is the allure. But let's not mistake this for mere rebellion. It's not about being reckless, about being a man who lacks direction, no. The bad boy's power lies in his ability to control his environment. He's always in the driver's seat of his life, always navigating the chaos and uncertainty of the world with a steady hand and unwavering resolve. He's the master of his destiny, and his actions speak louder than words. In the game of attraction, women are seeking more than just a partner. They're seeking a leader, someone who can take charge, someone who won't be swayed by the opinions of others. A man who knows what he wants and isn't afraid to take it. The bad boy is the embodiment of that desire. The man who doesn't ask for permission, but rather demands respect through his presence, his actions, his very being. Now let's turn to the power of confidence. Confidence is the cornerstone of attraction. Without confidence, you have nothing. No amount of charm, no amount of wealth, no amount of status can replace true, unwavering confidence. But confidence isn't something that can be learned overnight. It's something that is earned, forged through experiences, through triumphs and failures alike. The bad boy doesn't hesitate. He doesn't second-guess himself. Whether it's a conversation with a stranger or a decision that will change his life forever. He moves forward without hesitation, without fear of failure. He understands that inaction is the greatest enemy of success. He lives his life with the understanding that the world is a playground, not a battleground. And this bold, unapologetic approach to life, this fearlessness, is what women find intoxicating. But it's more than just a surface-level confidence. The true power of the bad boy lies in his ability to remain unaffected by the judgments of others. He's not interested in fitting in. He's not interested in seeking approval. His value comes from within, and this inner strength is what makes him so magnetic. He's a man who knows his worth, and that is the essence of power. Let's now talk about the notion of danger, of unpredictability. The bad boy doesn't come with a manual. He doesn't follow the conventional path. He's wild, spontaneous, and unpredictable, and that's what women find so alluring. In a world that's so often dull, so structured, so predictable, the bad boy represents the unknown. He represents freedom. And it's this freedom, this willingness to break the rules, that draws people in. But here's the twist. The bad boy doesn't need to be violent or reckless to embody danger. His danger comes from his nonchalance, from his refusal to bow down to societal expectations. He's unpredictable not because he's out of control, but because he controls the flow of events. He doesn't get caught up in the chaos around him. He creates his own chaos. And in that chaos, there's power. Now think about how women view these men. They're not necessarily drawn to the bad boy because of his actions, but because of the emotional and psychological space he occupies. The bad boy represents a challenge, something that can't be easily won. He's not someone who will give you everything on a silver platter. He makes women work for his attention, work for his affection, and that sense of pursuit is what makes him so desirable. In the same way that Machiavelli spoke of power as something that must be earned, not given, the bad boy makes women earn their place in his world. He doesn't throw himself at them. He doesn't beg for attention, he simply exists, and those who want him must rise to meet him, not the other way around. Finally, let's explore the idea of control. In a world full of uncertainty, women are drawn to men who are in control. The bad boy doesn't lose himself in the chaos of life. He controls his environment, his emotions, and the way he interacts with the world. He's a man who doesn't let life happen to him. He makes life happen. And this control, this mastery of self, is what makes him so incredibly attractive. But control isn't just about power over others. It's about power over yourself. It's about being able to stand firm in the face of adversity, to remain calm when the world around you is falling apart. The bad boy has mastered this art, and it's this mastery that makes him the object of desire. In the end, the bad boy is not just a figure of rebellion. He is the embodiment of power, confidence, danger, unpredictability, and control. He is a man who lives by his own rules, and it is this very quality that makes him so desirable to women. They are drawn to him, not because he follows the rules, but because he creates his own. And in that creation, in that power, lies the ultimate form of attraction. So the next time you wonder why bad boys are more attractive to women, remember this: it's not the rebelliousness, the unpredictability, or the risk-taking. It's the control, it's the strength, it's the power. And most importantly, it's the understanding that true attraction comes from living life on your own terms, not anyone else's. The bad boy knows that, and so should you.